We are doing it. Hey there, I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. It is Ben at 10 here, straight up 10 o'clock, maybe even a few seconds before 10 o'clock. It's your Southern Indiana and beyond weather show. So we've got a lot to talk about. A lot of today will be dry. We get this little break. We're between disturbances. And then this evening, we'll have some rain moving in, heavier rain and storms developing overnight and into tomorrow morning, and some rounds of showers and thunderstorms for our Wednesday. The Weather Prediction Center has our region under a slight risk of excessive rainfall. So we go to drought over the last month or so, now to some localized flooding potential. The severe weather threat will stay low. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But definitely kind of a washout Wednesday on the way. Some spotty leftover rain showers Thursday, but then we're looking pretty good for the weekend. So it is your September the 23rd here at 10 a.m. Thanks for popping on the show. Cheers from me and Big Happy here. And after all that rainfall, some of you actually might want a little bit of a break in the rainfall for today. So a lot of our daytime looks to be dry for today. We can take a live look outside here at the corner of Market and Vincent's. Those are our streets here, and right outside of our Extol Media Studios. And again, uptown New Albany. So been a little bit damp in some areas, had some foggy spots early this morning. And as I bring up the radar and satellite, or actually, the radar and satellite, the live radar here, and take a close look. This is actually a decent little shower near Scottsburg a second ago, but you can see it is falling apart. Other than that, there might be this little sprinkle just east of Lanesville, and maybe a sprinkle or two. You can ignore this out west. This is just ground clutter, and nothing to see there. That is no big deal. And then a couple little showers out to the west. Let me go ahead and bring up the radar and satellite. And if you're new to the program, this has been at 10 daily at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, and we like to start off with your forecast right off the bat. And then we'll dive deeper into the forecast details through about 10:15, 10:20, and then around 10:20, we'll dive deeper into the weather model data, the weather nerd portion of the show. So as we look at this, it is messy across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley and into the Great Plains. Actually, let me bring up the animation here. So we've got kind of in between disturbances. We've got the one now moving off to our east. Notice we've got some dry time out to the west until that big blob starts to move our direction. So that's going to be later on tonight during the overnight and into tomorrow morning. It looks like it's heading right for us. It's a slow mover, though. And so that low pressure system will start to move our direction. Again, overall severe weather threat is low. Might have some areas that pick up a really healthy amount of rainfall, though. But for now, you can see that we have this dry space. So now through this afternoon looks dry for us until we head into the evening time. I'd say around 7, 8 o'clock and later, those rain chances will start to pick up across the area. Let me see if I can bring up the rainfall total from last night. Total precipitation. There was eastern Clark County and Trimble County that just got dumped on. That's not the thing that I want there. The total precipitation is what I am looking for. Let's see if we can load up this data here. There we go. So can you see the bullseye there? And Terry Vissing, a local farmer out of eastern Clark County near New Wash, reported 4.5 inches. So sometimes the radar will overestimate a little bit. But look at those numbers here, 3 to 5 inches. Eastern Clark County, so New Washington, over towards Bedford, Kentucky. So Eastern Clark and into Trimble County, huge bullseye of rain last night where there was a flash flood warning. Elsewhere, some areas have picked up an inch or two, some areas much lighter than that. It looks like we've had a hole in the rainfall here around Elizabethtown, where not much rain around Bardstown since yesterday. So some areas still need that liquid gold and that rainfall across the area. All right, let me get rid of that and bring up our weather headlines for today. And then we'll get to some comments, and then we'll dig again deeper into that forecast. Most of today looking dry, some evening rain showers back in the picture as the next disturbance begins to slide our direction into southern Indiana and into Kentucky. Showers and thunderstorms, multiple rounds likely for Wednesday. Overall severe weather threat is low. There could be a couple strong thunderstorms, and then some spotty light rain showers continue for Thursday before we dry out for this weekend. This weekend is looking really pleasant. So mostly dry, and then evening rain. Your play ball forecast, 76 at noon, 82 this afternoon. We've got a tennis match. My son does, so I'm hoping we can keep those courts dry long enough. I think it'll hold off until after the match, 77 at 8 o'clock. I've got that 30% chance of rain for around sunset or later, and then a southwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. As always, too, thanks for popping in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Love to see the representation all throughout Indiana and Kentucky, and sometimes beyond that as well. Thanks for tuning in, whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, P-E-I-N-E, Extol Weather on Facebook, extolmag.com/weather, and Extol Media on YouTube. So wherever you're watching from, we definitely appreciate it. So we've got Orlean Whitlow. Good morning, Ben. No rain yet. Hodgenville, just a few sprinkles. Yeah, there's been that kind of little hole there near the Bluegrass Parkway areas that have not seen much. But Orlean, you're in good shape. You're going to get some rainfall here over the next 24 to 48 hours. And a happy good morning here to John Fox. Good morning, brother. All right, I hope you're doing good. All right, let's take a look here. Let me get rid of that and bring this one back up. And let me get rid of my name here as well. There's also a lot going on in the tropics we'll take a look at. And so it's a busy edition here of the show here at 10 a.m. So let me go ahead and bring up our weather page here. This is extolmag.com/weather. You can see our live stream. It is up. The brand new 7 days posted. The new weather story is posted too. Just click on that weather story. And we need to refresh that one. More showers and storms tonight into tomorrow. You can see I post some of the latest future radar weather model data. There is the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center's risk of excessive rainfall here for tomorrow through tomorrow. There's some of the rainfall totals that I've posted, some snapshots of the rain on the way. The not even slight risk, level 1 out of 5 here from the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow with these storms. And then again, the 7-day forecast. And of course, my buddy Michael Long here with American Family Insurance. Here's a live look with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. We've got the low clouds around. I do think we will see some peaks of sunshine, though, later on this afternoon as we start to clear out a little bit more. So not all bad here for this Tuesday. And then speaking of the tropics, here you can see there are 3 things to note. So we'll look at that here in just a little bit as well. This is the excessive rainfall, the slight risk of excessive rainfall around our region through tomorrow. So again, we're looking at rainfall totals. We're going to time out the rainfall with the weather models here hour by hour here for you. And we'll look at the long range outlook as well. Want to thank our partners here at Lyons Roofing, Lyons roofingco.com, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. In Indiana or Kentucky, you can call 812-294-3595, and they'll get you fixed up. And you also have an opportunity here. If you know a friend or family member that needs an opportunity, here's a roofing repair technician job opening where you can apply right there online. Sometimes you got to work hand in hand with your insurance company. I want to recommend you to Michael Long here with amfam.com, American Family Insurance. Just go to amfam.com and then search Michael Long. There you're going to find where you can message him or call him, 812-578-3072. Bunches and bunches of good reviews. That's why. Proud to be an American Star Certified Agency Excellence in Customer Experience. Libs Paving, the top asphalt contractor around, trying to give them some dry time to get some work in. And they may have some opportunities still available for, again, you or a family member or somebody you know. You can apply now there at libspaving.com. Just hit the careers section. Speaking of careers and leveling up, ivytech.edu. It's the fall sessions right now. There's a second fall session you can register for. Just head to ivytech.edu, click on the Sellersburg location, and you're going to learn a ton. It's all great, easy to use website. They've got Tuesdays at the Tech. Of course, today is Tuesday. You can register for next Tuesday and get that in-person assistance, getting started at Ivy Tech, registering for classes, career development, paying for college. And definitely, if you're a junior or senior, maybe before that, get that dual credit, get that free college education started with transferable credits here at Ivy Tech. And again, we are looking there at the gloomy condition. It's a wet start to the fall season. Today, our first full fall day, as fall began yesterday at 2:19 p.m. Also, a little reminder here, if you have any weather questions, and hey, we're running out of weather jokes too. If you got a weather joke, send it to me. Don't be shy. Ben at extolmag.com. Ben at extolmag.com. Because we're running out of jokes. We've got some more jokes today, though. We'll get to here in a sec as well. And then if you want to see your business or organization on our products here, Extol Weather, Extol Media, we've got a bunch of different platforms reaching over 1.4 million views over the last month on just my page. So thank you for that. And again, if you want to join us with advertising or marketing solutions here in Southern Indiana or beyond into Kentucky, you can reach out to me or Jason at extolmag.com. So I appreciate everyone's support. Again, most of today dry here with your weather headlines. Some evening rain showers back in the picture, and then showers and thunderstorms, multiple rounds likely for our Wednesday, and spotty light rain for Thursday. Again, that play ball forecast, 82, upper 70s, low 80s, depending on the amount of cloud cover you have. I think we'll get some peaks of sunshine, though. And how many days until? We've got average highs in the 60s, 26 days, Halloween in 38. Average first flurries about 53 days away, and Thanksgiving 65. So the fall things countdown continues. Here are the stupid weather jokes. What do you get if you come in fourth at the National Weather Awards? A precipitation trophy. Get it? Participation trophy? Yeah. How does one raindrop ask another out? What are you doing tonight? What do you call a family vehicle driving through a severe storm? Van Halen. Kind of like that one. I'm going to give this 6 out of 10 on the joke meter score. And again, we're trying to write some ourselves. We're scraping the internet. If you've got any stupid weather jokes, you want to participate, feel free to drop them in the comments or email me. We've got Lily and Lasley in the comments. Sun shining at the house. Yeah, there is more sun in Kentucky right now than Indiana. And we'll get right back to that radar satellite here in just a second. And Judy Tyndall, good morning from Cloverport. Sun shining and no rain. Yeah, the majority of today for this Tuesday, dry. And then this evening, we got some more rain moving in and a pretty unsettled day for tomorrow. All right, back to it here as we're getting toward the forecast. Today's weather history, and it goes way back. 1555, Grand Harbor, located in Velita, Malta, was hit by a tornado which moved inland and caused extensive damage. A shipping armada in the harbor was about to go out to battle, was destroyed by the tornado, killing at least 600 people. Some sources say that happened in 1551 or 1556. Either way, a long time ago. 1722, a hurricane struck the small village of New Orleans. Back then, a small village. Having just been founded 4 years earlier, the hurricane force winds lasted 15 hours and storm surge drove ships well inland. A hospital and church were destroyed. New Orleans has had a history with horrible hurricanes. 1815, the poem The September Gale, penned by Oliver Wendell Holmes. We're getting enlightened and cultured here today, guys. Was written about a hurricane that struck New England on this date. Holmes was just 6 years old at the time. 1983, Super Typhoon Forest underwent extreme rapid intensification at its central pressure crashed 92 millibars in just under 24 hours. And we've got a good morning from Mary Dale, overcast in New Albany. And Mary, you got that right as we look live here at the overcast conditions here, live in downtown, uptown New Albany. But again, I think we'll see some sunshine today. Definitely not as much rain as we saw yesterday. All right, looking here at the forecast today, 82 degrees, dry most of today, and then some evening rain, southwest wind around 5 to 10, sunset 7:37, and tonight, showers and thunderstorms. I think that rain will become heavier at times overnight into tomorrow morning. We'll look at that on the future weather model maps, which looks pretty widespread for tomorrow morning. We'll look at the high-res models here in just a second. We got a good morning from Perry Porter. Cheers to you from me and Big Happy. Thank you for watching, sir. All right, moving right along to the forecast. South winds 5 to 10, sunrise 7:32 tomorrow morning. So here's your forecast for tomorrow. Tomorrow, multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms, perhaps not a total washout. We might get a little break between disturbances around midday tomorrow, but morning looks pretty wet, especially early. And then later in the day, we could develop more showers and thunderstorms. Have to watch out for maybe some localized flooding. Could see around 1 to 3 inches of rainfall tomorrow. Average high is 79, average low 59, sunrise 7:32, sunset at 7:36. And the 7-day forecast gets better. On the very backside of this system, we'll have some clouds and some lingering spotty light rain showers Thursday. And then upper 70s, looks like some good Friday night football weather here for us for Friday. And then seasonably warm, pretty normal temperatures, upper 70s, low 80s in the afternoon, Saturday and Sunday, and lows back down cooler in the upper 50s and lower 60s. So it looks dry this weekend. I've just put the word isolated Monday, Tuesday. Some data suggests we could have a little fetch off the Atlantic that might give us a sprinkle or two, maybe early next week. But for now, keeping that mostly dry, but not a bad, again, 7-day forecast there overall. All right, bringing back to the program here. We're going to start to look at we're going to look at everything. We're going to cover it all. We're not going to leave anything out on the program here today. We've got a good morning here from Bedford. Dry patch for now, anyway. Speaking of that dry patch, way to lead me on here, Dennis. Here we go. So there's our dry patch. So actually, Lillian was talking about some sunshine. There you can see that over central Kentucky. We still got this layer of what was very low clouds and fog over southern Indiana that's going to start to dissipate. Again, I think we'll see some more sunshine. Then we've got some space between us and the next unsettled weather that'll arrive later on tonight and into tomorrow. So it looks like the majority of the daytime today is going to be dry. And we've had just a couple of teeny tiny little showers here over the last hour and a half. You can see those have fizzled out. So again, we're back to dry conditions for a little while here, but it is rather unsettled. You can see that big stretch of wet weather through Missouri and Kansas and Nebraska, northeastern Colorado into Wyoming. So I think we're going to get if we, do a simple timeline, we're going to get this for our Wednesday. I'll just put W on that. And then spotty light rain stuff for our Thursday on the very backside of this kind of convoluted system that we have out there. So the W is our Wednesday heavy rain, and then the T is our Thursday, some lighter rain on the way. So let's get to it. Let's look at the weather models. I'm going to bring up it's 10:18, usually around 10:20. We're diving into the weather models. So we're pretty much right on time here. I'm going to bring up the future radar, and we are going to start with the NAM 3 kilometer. Let me back up our view here a little bit. So we're going to take this to noon today. You can see the rain is still out to our west here at lunchtime, going into 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. So school getting out, about to wrap up work. There you can see that heavy rain has shifted east to the Mississippi River. So getting a little bit closer, but still out to our west. And the model is trying to give perhaps a very isolated little shower developing this afternoon, especially over central Kentucky. I doubt many of us are going to see that. So again, mostly dry through the afternoon. So there's that wave. The next wave of wet weather out west here is 7 p.m. On the leading edge of that wet weather, we might start to get some sprinkles as we get towards sunset. This is at 7 p.m. today. But there you can see that blob of rain getting closer, now moving towards the Wabash River, the Illinois and Indiana state lines. We head towards sunset. And then as we get a little bit later into the nighttime, here is 10 p.m. Starting to see a steadier rain likely develop over the area. Go to midnight here if you're following along here hour by hour, loading up the data. So I'm starting to see some heavier pockets developing likely overnight. I'll stop it here at around 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And we might be getting some rumble swirls of thunder as we start to get to the core of the system moving over us. Low-level jet, so pumping in some energy. And so this is around 3, 4 o'clock. Let me see what we have at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. It definitely looks like a pretty – look at that. Look at your Wednesday morning. This is around 5 a.m. So let me take a look at another product here. This is the most unstable CAPE, the convective available potential energy. And there's more of it southwest. But there's enough here for some rumbles of thunder, but I don't think severe weather for us. And if we line this up with the Storm Prediction Center's day 1 severe weather risk, which takes us into late tonight, there you can see that risk of severe weather is greater where we've got more energy. Makes sense down in Arkansas. Now, our day 2 risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center, they are a division of the National Weather Service out of Norman, Oklahoma, and you can see that we are just under level 1 out of 5 in the severe weather risk categories. That's called marginal risk for our area. So it is low level risk of severe weather. Okay. Back to the weather models. Here we go. And the other one little thing that I was wanting to look at as well is the 850 millibar winds. This is about 5,000 feet up. And then I was going to take this into where we just left off at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So right now we're looking at the NAM 3-kilometer high-resolution weather model. Then we're going to look and compare and contrast with the HRRR, the high-resolution rapid refresh weather model. But what this shows us is some strong winds at about 5,000 feet. So that is a good low-level jet over the region. So what this does, it transports a lot of moisture and more unstable air up our direction. So this is a low-level jet around, again, 5,000 feet. On the nose of a low-level jet, you will get mass convergence and uplift, and that will help produce a bunch of heavy rain. Some of this heavy rain could be going over the same areas. We call that training, and that could lead to some localized flooding. That's why we are in a slight risk for excessive rainfall from the Weather Prediction Center. So with all that said, we've got ingredients for a heavy rain event tonight into tomorrow morning. Let's bring back up the reflectivity here for you. So this is at 5 o'clock. We'll go into 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So a lot of us going to be hitting the road here out the door, and there you can see widespread rain throughout the region. So just a little pause here for you to take a look at your 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. Some pretty healthy downpours. Grab the rain gear. Grab the galoshes. Whatever you need. The umbrella. Looking like a soggy Wednesday for us. A gully washer, as some might say. So let's go into late tomorrow morning. After kind of a washout start as we go towards noon tomorrow, southern Indiana might get a little bit of a break midday. Heavy rain starting to slide off to the east towards Lexington with that first initial batch. Now, later in the day, we might start to recharge and have another disturbance heading our direction. So going to keep a rain chance in there for tomorrow afternoon. This is around 3 p.m. on our Wednesday. September the 24th is what we're looking at right here. If you're just joining us, we're looking at the weather models here hour by hour. So this is at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Here's a look at 5 o'clock. So just some more scattered showers and thunderstorms through the region. This is at 7 o'clock tomorrow. If I take this all the way into Thursday, actually, I want to bring up the NAM. It still shows some spotty light rain showers Thursday. So the heavy stuff tomorrow, and then lighter Thursday, and then dry for Friday. All right, that is the NAM 3-kilometer in the NAM. Now we're going to look at the high-resolution rapid refresh weather model, the HRRR. This is time now, basically. It's got a couple of showers moving off to the east of us. It has the heavy rain out west in Missouri and Nebraska, in Kansas, where we've seen it with the real data, the radar data. So it's matching up nicely. the initialization looks good with the HRRR. So as we take this into the afternoon today, 3, 4 o'clock, you can see that blob of wet weather still out to the west of us. Heading to the Mississippi River this afternoon, it's got our area dry for this afternoon. Going into, say, 6, 7 o'clock, it has most of that rain over Illinois, western Kentucky. It is maybe just a little bit slower than the NAM 3 kilometer. Here is 9 p.m. with that heavy rain just out to our west. We'll go to 11 o'clock, and there you can see that heavy rain now moving into our area. So when a lot of us are starting to go to bed, that's probably when we might start to see some flashes of lightning, some rumbles of thunder. Might wake up again overnight to some of those rumbles of thunder during the overnight. This is at midnight. Both of the weather models showing the potential for some heavy downpours and some thunderstorms through the late night hours and into tomorrow morning. This has been a mouthful here with the weather models. Good. I'm, as a meteorologist, happy to have something to talk about here. But let me take a little break here. Cheers to you guys on a Tuesday morning, September 23rd. All right, looking ahead into, let's go with I got to go to the 48-hour version of the HRRR. So it's looking around 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. It has wet weather over us. And then by late morning, just like the NAM, it has the heavy rain starting to move off to the east, but still some just kind of leftover scattered stuff here and there around noon. Noon, we might get that break. So late morning, early afternoon, might get a little bit of a break here in what is a wet Wednesday. Now I'm going into the afternoon tomorrow here with the HRRR, and there you can see, just like the NAM, it has some stuff kind of popping back up. So kind of a multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms likely for our Wednesday. This is at 6 p.m. tomorrow, still some rain across the area. And this one has it kind of blowing up again tomorrow evening. So there we go. An active day tomorrow with our weather. Let me see if I can also bring up I thought the 850 millibar winds were pretty interesting. I'm going to go to tomorrow morning with this because I think that's when the core of the jet is over the region. So yeah, this is a low-level jet. This is a healthy supply at 5,000 feet, transporting up rich, moist air to the region on the nose of the low-level jet on that top side there. That's where we get, again, mass convergence, pooling of moisture, uplift, ingredients for widespread showers and thunderstorms. So there we go. And Vicky with I couldn't get you only when you were walking into work. Glad to get you now. Glad you're popping in. You're not going to miss anything. Vicky we'll do the recap as we always do of the forecast. We're digging into the weather models right now, though. Okay, so that is our active Wednesday. We've got the ingredients for showers and thunderstorms across the area, low-level threat of severe weather. And does the kitty want out? I think that. Look, do you hear Ginger? 1 second. I'm going to let the kitty out. Oh, there we go. There's Angie Fenton. All right, here we go. So we are now going to be starting to look ahead a little bit farther into the future. Also want to look at the total amount of rainfall. So the rainfall accumulation here, guys. And so the total precipitation through the next couple of days. And there is a big swath. So this is all just the total amount of rainfall across the region. Again, kind of a drought buster for much of the region, which has been a blessing. We've been needing this rainfall. So don't necessarily look at the numbers and think, I'm going to get that exact number. As we know with thunderstorms, there's going to be varying amounts. And Vicki with the live report of some fog still up there in the Salem, Indiana area. Definitely a foggy start over parts of Indiana this morning. But this is a look at, so again, some hefty amounts for tomorrow. The white colors are the heavier amounts. The greens are lower amounts. So I'm just plotting these out randomly. So it's showing around 1 to 3 inches of rainfall total for tomorrow and tomorrow night. There could be, like we saw yesterday, eastern Clark County into Trimble County, some areas that even pick up a little bit more than that. All right, so busy weather pattern here. Let me bring up the radar and satellite once again. And then we're going to dig into the tropics for a minute. Then we might take a peek at the long-range outlook. If you're watching last week, it was looking around like late September, early October, we might get a real push of some cool Canadian air, some drier air to return to the area. A bit humid out there for today. Our dew points are in the 60s. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and bring up the dew points real quick. The good old dew point map, which is a measure of the water content in the air at the surface. So you can see the humid air has returned to the region. You go to the western Great Plains and the Rockies, that red is the real dry air. But the humidity is out there. Thankfully, the temperatures aren't that warm. We're talking upper 70s, low 80s overall today. But the moisture is there. And again, we'll check in the tropics here in just a second, but I'm going to take that. We're going to go on the long range outlook to see when we might see that air mass change towards more fall-like conditions here. Since we're going in the long run, long range outlook, we're going to do this. All right, the good old Ben on a limb segment here. And we'll see what happens as I load up the GFS weather model with, let me clear all this stuff out here. GFS, I want to stick with the dew points. That's kind of the easiest way to see an air mass change. And let me bring this up here for you. Actually, we're going to go back to this. And let me change out the parameter here. All right, so the dew point map. There's some of the muggy, well, kind of muggy, a little bit humid. Not crazy. Let's go to Friday. It's Friday the 26th. And slightly drier air begins to move in behind this system. So it's going to be feeling a lot more comfortable Friday as we do get a drop in the humidity. And temperatures are likely going to be in the 70s for Friday as well. So everything's looking good for our Friday. There you see mid to upper 70s for our Friday afternoon. Again, some good football weather, great weather to wrap up the work week and start to head into the weekend. And if you have any outdoor plans this weekend, it looks like we are going to be in good shape here. Now going into the 27th, our Saturday. This is looking a little bit warmer. We're looking at upper 70s, low 80s across the area with those temperatures. For Saturday, the dew points are still low, so some nice, comfortable air across the area. Into the 28th, our Sunday. Not too humid. Going into Monday, the 29th. And what's interesting about Monday, we've got this fetch of air coming off the Atlantic Ocean from a low-pressure system, like a coastal low. And so we've got this easterly flow coming from the east, and that might give us some clouds, maybe an isolated shower or sprinkle Monday, Tuesday. But you can see that return of moisture coming from the east instead of typically coming from the south, which when we're in the peak of tropical season, we can get that kind of activity happening. All right, let me clear that off. And let me bring up the reflectivity, which is your rainfall, what you're normally used to looking at. Looking at, again, maybe a sprinkle at some point in time, Monday or Tuesday. Not a lot to it, though. This shows just kind of a little bit of a blip here going into our September the 30th, next Tuesday. So we're looking a week out here, 8 days or so. Okay, let me bring back up the dew points here. What we're trying to get to, if you're following along closely, is a crashing cold front from Canada. So a little bit more humidity to the air early next week from that fetch coming off the mid-Atlantic from that coastal low. Let's go deeper out. So that's September 30th. We're now going to October 1st, which is next Wednesday. October already, next week. Still some humidity around the area. No significant change there. September 2nd. So this would be next Thursday, I believe. No change there. September or October 3rd. No change. Going into the 4th. Not much of a change. Now, what I'm seeing develop here, if you're watching closely, there's a front starting to develop here. First week of October. Will it get here eventually? Of course, it'll eventually get here, but let's go to the 5th of October. It just makes a little bit of move off to the east. 6th of October. There's the front. Into the 7th of October. There it finally moves into the area. So at some point in the first week of October, we might get some Canadian air dropping into the area. Otherwise, I think it's going to be seasonably warm with upper 70s and 80s, maybe a touch of humidity, but not too different from the kind of conditions that we have now. So no big fall push perhaps for the next couple of weeks or so. There you can see that cooler air. This is October the 7th. All right, so that might be a little ways away before we get kind of a wholesale change to our weather pattern. With that said, let's bring up the Climate Prediction Center. And they usually look a couple weeks out. They look farther than that out if you ever go to cpc.ncep.noaa.gov, where you can get some longer range outlooks from their forecasts. Bringing up the CPC, Climate Prediction Center. This should start off with the 6 to 10 day outlook, which shows overall a higher confidence in above normal temperatures. It doesn't take a whole lot, to get above normal because our average high is going to be dropping into the upper 70s now this week. So we might just be talking about some lower 80s, and that gets us low mid 80s maybe next week. So that gets us above normal. So it doesn't mean it's going to be hot, but seasonably warm here with the 6 to 10 day outlook. This is the 8 to 14 day outlook. So getting us just past the 7-day forecast. As we saw with the GFS weather model, no big change to the air, the atmosphere that we have now. So this shows a higher confidence and above normal temperatures possibly lasting for the next couple of weeks. So again, it might be at some point in that first week of October where we get a bigger push of cool air. So that, my friends, has been our stab at the long-range forecast. And cheers on a Tuesday here. All right, getting back to it. Let's get back to the forecast here. And a live look outside at still some gloomy conditions sitting on top of New Albany, Indiana, and southern Indiana. But we do have some sunshine breaking out in other parts of our area where I know some of you guys are watching from here. So as I bring up the radar and satellite, there you can see some pockets of sunshine in Kentucky. Still pretty cloudy, as you can see over Indiana. It looks like there might be some sunshine breaking out here near Greensburg, Indiana, just to the east of Columbus. But kind of leftover fog lifting. Might take a little while before we see some peaks of sunshine in southern Indiana. But you guys over the Commonwealth seeing more of that sunshine now. We had a couple of little showers fading away over the last couple of hours that you can see there over parts of southern Indiana and northern Kentucky as well. So things, again, pretty quiet around the region. And as we look out west, there you can see the next big batch of rain that will move in tonight into tomorrow morning. But it does look like, as we saw with the weather models, between now and through most of your afternoon, we should have that dry weather right there. So not looking too bad for our Tuesday. And if you do break out to some sunshine, you should be able to make it into the lower 80s. All right. Now time, in case you missed it, to get back to the detailed forecast here for you, that forecast summary. And looking at a couple more comments here. We got Sean with the hi. Thanks for watching, Sean. Is the hurricane season waking up? Thanks for the reminder. I was about to wrap this up. And Karen Pate, you're the best. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay put right here. All right. Thank you, Sean, for bringing back up that point. Sometimes I forget about the tropics. Let's not forget about the tropics. It's kind of interesting. So let me bring up a broad view here. Oops, my pen is drawing. And just need to go to my tropical layers, pop them all on. So you've got Gabrielle out here. Category, big hurricane, by the way, category 4. And then that is just going to continue off toward Great Britain, towards England. Or is that's Spain, guys. I got to work on my Europe geography. Heading towards Spain. But we'll be weakening by the time it does that. So that was our latest. It's not affecting the United States. But there are a couple low pressure systems here that could develop and are expected to develop. We've got a couple of invests, some low pressure systems, some areas of interest that the National Hurricane Center is watching. So you got one here to the east of Puerto Rico, and then one farther off to the east. So with that said, let's go ahead and bring up the National Hurricane Centers. So they've got this disturbance out here in the middle of the Atlantic with a 90% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days. So shower and thunderstorm activity associated with a tropical wave located a little less than 1,000 miles east of the Lesser Antilles continues to show signs of organization. Environmental conditions are forecast to be favorable for the development of over the next several days, and a tropical depression is likely to form by the latter half of this week while the system moves west-northwest to the northwestward into the western tropical Atlantic. So that will likely form into something there. And then this other wave closer to like the Bahamas and the vacation islands down there, 60% chance of cyclone formation over the next 7 days. So this moving west-northwestward and heading towards the Bahamas later this week. A tropical depression could form when the disturbance is in that region. So interest in the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas should monitor the progress of that system right there over the next few days. So 3 areas of interest in the tropics and the Atlantic. It is the peak of hurricane season. And a reminder here from the Weather Prediction Center, they have placed our area under a slight risk of excessive rainfall here through tomorrow. So we might have to watch out for some localized flooding, which is, again, kind of weird to say after the drought conditions we've been under for the last month and a half. Bringing the forecast back up here for you. Our weather headlines for your September the 23rd. Most of today dry, some evening rain showers, heavier rain setting up with some thunderstorms overnight into our Wednesday. Multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms likely tomorrow. Could see 1 to 3 inches of rainfall and then some leftover spotty light rain on Thursday. The play ball forecast, 76 at noon, 82 this afternoon with some peaks of sun, 77 at 8 p.m. And again, that rain chance increases as we get toward and after sunset. Lillian Lasley with 73 at the house. Have an awesome day. These mornings have been great. We're always doing the countdown here, our autumn countdown. We are now into our autumn season. This is our first full day of fall. Average highs in the 60s, 26 days away. Halloween in 38. Average first flurries in 53 days. Thanksgiving in about 65 days. And our stupid weather jokes. What do you get if you come in 4th at the National Weather Awards? A precipitation trophy. How does one raindrop ask another one out on a date? What are you doing tonight? What do you call a family vehicle driving through a severe storm? Van Halen. That was not bad. Email me your weather jokes. Ben at extolmag.com. Our weather history goes back to 1555. A tornado hitting a fleet, an armada, at a harbor in Malta, killing 600 people way back in the day. 1722, a hurricane struck the small village of New Orleans, Louisiana. Just founded 4 years earlier, a hospital and church destroyed there. 1815, the September Gale poem was penned by Oliver Wendell Holmes. He was just 6 years old at the time. And we'll post this around noon on my page in case you want a longer look at it. Today's forecast for your Tuesday, September the 23rd, 82 degrees, mostly dry through the afternoon. Then again, some evening rain, southwest winds around 5 to 10, 82 for the high. If you just stay with mostly clouds, then you might just stay in the upper 70s, but I think we'll get some sunshine. The sky's starting to look a little brighter outside of our Extol Media Studios here in New Albany, Indiana. Tonight's forecast, some showers and thunderstorms, low of 68 degrees. And the forecast tomorrow, 100% chance of rain out the door, and then some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Some more activity will likely develop through the afternoon and evening tomorrow, but I think we'll get some breaks. I think midday is probably the driest part of our Wednesday tomorrow. Highs in the upper 70s. And then our 7-day forecast, again, spotty light rain showers Thursday, 76. Seasonably warm and dry, upper 70s, low 80s for this weekend. We've got the September meet out at Churchill Downs. I think I'll be out there Saturday checking out some of the races. And then I've just put the word isolated Monday and Tuesday. I think most of the area will be dry Monday, Tuesday. Might add a little more humidity around that time from a fetch of air that comes off the mid-Atlantic. So from the east, we might get a little more moisture in the air early next week. We've had a lot to talk about here with the weather today. Let me bring something here back up. And just another live look outside. We'll do a couple more live looks outside. And then we'll start to wrap up our Bennett 10 here on this Tuesday, September the 23rd. There you can see clouds left over here by the Falls of the Ohio, fallsoftheohiofoundation.org camera. Still pretty cloudy as well with our live cam there at Benson's and Market in Uptown New Albany. But I do think we'll start to see some of these clouds break apart, and we'll start to see some peaks of sunshine. And I want to thank our partners, as always, every day. Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com is where you can go to get a free estimate here. You can give them a shout if you've got any roofing issues with this rainfall. If you see any leaks, let them know. 812-294-3595. On both sides of the river, they've got you covered, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. Family-owned, great folks here right out of Memphis, Indiana. LYONS roofingco.com. 812-294-3595. And the career section, they've got you linked up to a roofing repair technician job. Job postings as well still here. There might be some opportunities for you at libspaving.com. Trying to get them some dry weather today to get some work done. And you can apply there online too. You can also register for Tuesdays at the Tech. Today is Tuesday, so maybe you did that. You can register right here, ivytech.edu. Just go to locations, go to Sellersburg, and they are powering the workforce here in southern Indiana. They're going to meet you right where you are at. You belong here. So it is easy to do, easy to communicate and connect with these guys here. The administration, the instructors, very friendly folks. I've met a lot of them, and you can get that in-person assistance here, getting started at Ivy Tech, registering for classes, career development, paying for college, all the resources. There's a bunch of them there online, of course, but it's always good to get that one-on-one there right at their site. 9 miles north of Louisville, exit 9 there in Sellersburg. And one more time, also, if you want a insurance quote, they've actually had a price reduction with their auto renewals. So tell Michael that I sent you here. Michael, along with AmFam, American Family Insurance, 812-578-3072. Proud to be an American Star certified agency. You can always get a lot more resources here at extolmag.com/weather. We have our live show up right now, interactive radar, current conditions, 7-day forecast that I posted, the weather story that dives deeper into the details. I also share a lot of the weather maps, the weather models. We've got your day 1, your day 2 severe weather outlook, any severe weather watches or warnings, today's storm reports. We'll probably be looking at this more in the wintertime when the roads maybe turn icy and dicey. We've got you linked up to INDOT, which is 511in.org. They will show you if there's any accidents across the area or whatever might be happening. So you can click on any of these cameras and take a look at what's happening on the road surfaces out there. Got you linked up there as well. And then we've got your drought monitor, which should change Thursday. The drought monitor is updated every Thursday. We should be putting a big dent in that with all this rainfall on the way. And then there is the full interactive radar. You can bring that up full screen with the different layers on it. You've got lightning, you've got storm tracks. There's other alerts on there, winds, storm reports, lots of different things you can check out here. For now, we got the rain off to the west. We are waiting for that big blob out in Missouri to move our direction later on tonight and into tomorrow. Also, a reminder, at any point in time, again, we're running out of those weather jokes. Or if you have a weather question, you can email me, ben@extolmag.com. Or if you want to, partner up with marketing, advertising, you want to see your logo, your business, your organization on our products, Extol Weather, Extol Media. We've got a lot of different platforms here, got a lot of different ways to get your word out through Southern Indiana and beyond I've reached 1.4 million over the last month. So thank you very much for checking out my content. And there's a lot more where that came from with all of our resources here at Extol Media right here in Southern Indiana and beyond. You can contact me, Ben at extolmag.com or Jason at extolmag.com. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Thank our partners, as I just did, and our weather family that watches here every morning too. So weather getting a little more exciting as we're starting off fall. We should start to get rid of the drought conditions. We, of course, are going to be tracking a lot of rain this time tomorrow morning on Ben at 10. So join us then. We'll help you get out the door and plan ahead for the rest of the week as always. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same